This video is sponsored by Just EVs, a family-run company with the largest selection of battery electric vehicles available with free UK delivery. They now also offer EV rentals. Have a look at justevs.co.uk and don't forget to mention EV Opinion for a free annual service. It's all well and good looking at, talking about, reviewing electric cars, but there comes a point when you've actually got to make a decision and you've got to decide which one you're going to buy. Well, I've just done that. So grab yourself a coffee, make yourself comfortable, and let's talk about my choice of new electric car. After months of deliberation over what the best electric car is for me and my family, along came the MG ZS, and it seemed like such a good offer at the moment. I appreciate everybody's different, everybody considers an affordable car a different price point, but for me, the offer that they've got on at the moment, the £3,500 UK government grant that's going to be matched by MG, £7,000 off of that car, it was too good to resist, and I've put my £500 deposit down. So to give you an idea, there's two cars. There's the Excite and the Exclusive. They just different trim levels. The Excite I can have on the road for £21,495. The Exclusive, £23,495 for brand new cars that, as you'll see, are pretty well equipped. So for me, the decision seemed quite straightforward. Now that offer of an extra £3,500 off and a free home charger sold out within 2 weeks, but they have released another 1,000 units to be sold. If you can put your £500 deposit down, you'll get that extra money off. And I have heard a rumour, how much truth is in it I don't know, but they are just going to keep extending it because, well, I guess it's selling cars for them, so it must be a good thing. But don't take my word for that. Keep an eye on the website. At the moment, making this at the very beginning of August, there are still offers available, so have a look for yourself. But the reason I went for it, and I don't want to go over all the specs of this car because I've done that in a previous video, the highlights for me, if you like, in the Excite model, which is that base model at £21,500, not only do you get the usual that you'd expect, so touchscreen, sat nav, all the bits and pieces that, well, a car at that price should have. You also get MG Pilot, which is a bit like Pro Pilot, I guess, in a Nissan. Adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, emergency braking. There's all sorts of technology in that car, which, again, I appreciate it's probably not the cheapest car in the world, but when we're putting it in the context of electric vehicles and brand new electric vehicles, well, it is cheap. And I don't say that lightly because I know everybody's version or idea of cheap is very, very different. But when we put it in that context, you have to say there's nothing else on the market at the moment that's that size with that level of equipment that is at that price. So for me, it's a refundable deposit. It's a no-brainer. Put the deposit down, secure it, and then I can take my time to have a good look at it and make the decision. If you were to go up to the Exclusive, well, you get a few extra bits, including a leather interior for that extra couple of £1,000. So it really is a choice for you to make. I think if the offer is that good, it's probably worth paying that little bit extra to get those few extra little luxuries. But again, I'm going to wait and see. When it actually becomes available, and this first batch will be available in September, which is another reason I went for it, because there's no real waiting list. September will come, and any that were ordered by the 1st of August will be available in September. So that, to me, well, when we look at the other options, and this brings us on nicely to the other things I looked at. If you're looking at a SUV, small SUV type vehicle, well, you've got the e-Niro and you've got the Kona. Both of those aren't available at the moment. If you can find one that's maybe very, very low mileage, you're going to be paying quite a lot more than the £22,000. And that, to be fair, well, it just puts it out of my price range, regardless of what else you think about those vehicles. My other option is a Nissan Leaf. Now, you may be surprised to hear that I'm even considering that in the same breath, because the MG comes with a liquid-cooled battery. So that battery is being really, really well protected. It's a similar size battery to the Nissan Leaf. It will do similar mileage to the Nissan Leaf. But the Nissan Leaf has no thermal battery management system on it. And to buy the Nissan Leaf new with the same equipment is a decent amount more money. So I'd have to look at a second-hand one. And until last week, when I drove one again for about 4 days, I wouldn't have even considered it. Because as much as I like my Nissan Leaf, well, it's feeling a bit old now. And the newer generation has got enough of my old one in it to make it feel still a little bit old to me. But having got in it initially last week and having those feelings, very, very quickly, certainly after the first day, I felt very comfortable in it and I really enjoyed driving it. And after the 4th day, it became a real consideration for me again that, well, the build quality, in my opinion, is very, very good. I've never had a problem with my Nissan Leaf, and the one that I was driving, it just felt right. I didn't have any problems with it. I felt very, very happy and very comfortable in there. The kids liked it in there. There was plenty of room for them. So to buy one of those second-hand at a similar price point with similar features on has become another option for me. So I've now got the balls in the air again, because my concern with the MG is that it's unproven. And MG, as much as we like to think that's a British brand, it's got a British badge on the front, it isn't. It's just a badge. It's a Chinese company that are now making them and shipping them over. So there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, most of the stuff we've got, this camera I'm filming on is probably made in China somewhere. The Chinese make very, very good items that we use every day in our everyday life. So I shouldn't be concerned about it. But when it comes to MG cars, I think for me, they're a little bit unproven. And I buy a car to keep it for many, many years. I don't generally change them after 2 or 3 years. So I need a car that's going to last. And I know the Nissan will do that. And I know I'll have no problems. I know the family can fit in it. I know everything about it will fit our lifestyle perfectly. But I want a shiny new car. And I love the look of that MG. And it just, on the surface of it, seems much more advanced and a much better car than the Leaf. And the only other thing that bothers me about buying another Nissan Leaf and keeping it for a number of years is, well, what's happening with CHAdeMO? Certainly here in the UK and Europe, CCS has become the norm. So that's what everybody seems to be using now. That's what the governments are supporting. So I do worry a little bit about perhaps buying a car that I'm going to keep maybe for another 10 years that perhaps the charging infrastructure won't be supporting then. So there's all these things to consider. I'm wavering towards that MG. I do like the look of that. I do like the idea of a nice new shiny car, doesn't everybody? But what do you think? Should I keep that deposit down? Should I go for the MG? Is that the right car to go for? Because that's looking towards the future. That's hopefully future-proofing everything, and hopefully the build quality will be okay. Or do I go with the old faithful, proven track record, maybe not the most exciting car in the world, but do I stick with perhaps a low mileage, decent used Nissan Leaf? Let me know what your thoughts are, because I'll be really interested to get a bit of a straw poll really and see what people think. I think I have pretty much made my mind up now, but yeah, see if you can sway me one way or the other. It would be good, because at the end of the day, you're watching this channel and I drive the cars and review the cars in the hope that it helps you as much as me. So perhaps we should go for something new, and perhaps it would be good for all of us to see what those MGs are like and see whether they are a good buy or not. But that's it for today. Thank you for letting me share that with you, and thank you for your comments that will be coming, because as I say, you will be helping me. I am in a little bit of a dilemma with it. But yeah, I'm going to finish drinking my coffee and enjoy this lovely view. I don't know if you can see much of that. Fantastic countryside round here. You have a good day, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.